Hi, good afternoon, Shreya.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So I have with me my student Shreya Patil. She had 14 IIM calls and she has converted 8 of them. Decided to go ahead with IIM Nagpur, and which is why I will be asking Shreya a list of questions today. She's basically a computer engineer and aspiring to go ahead with MBA in finance or probably HR.
Yeah.
Okay. So Shreya, how did you prepare for CAT?
Okay, ma'am. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. So, ma'am, while preparing for CAT, I had joined ELC. So, I solved initially when I didn't have a clear idea of how the exam was. I used to follow the set of questions given to me by you or Sagar sir. So after that, I used to search for online questions. Like I used to follow some search for previous year question papers as well. So after that, I focused on giving mocks. While giving mocks, I used to give a mock per week initially. Later on, I uh, I used to analyze the mock and the weaker areas. I used to not focus much on them because my strategy was to focus on my strengths. So I would see, and while analyzing also, I would see that the amount of time required to solve a certain question, even though if it's my strength and I'm taking much time to solve that, so I would leave that question. So such was my strategy.
Okay.
I would say rather than giving n number of mocks, focusing on increasing the quantity of mocks, I focused on I kept the mocks qualitative. Okay. So that is how I prepared. And one thing I would like to mention is that CAT is not about solving 100% of the question paper. So the art of leaving is very important here. I followed that because sometimes what happens is we take it on our ego. Like my favorite topic in quants was percentage and profit and loss. So if that question I encounter in the exam, and if I'm not able, if I'm stuck at a certain part, so it comes on my ego like this is my strength. आगे जाके तो it's more harder. So यही कर लेती हूँ. So it wastes a lot of time. So you have to be wise while taking decisions.
That's a very valid point that you said, that it's very important to say a no to certain set of questions.
Yeah.
And not fall in love with them. Very true. Shreya, what was your strategy while writing the actual CAT on the day?
While writing for verbal ability, I went for RCs first. Okay. So while solving RCs, there are certain RCs, even though it's CAT, and if we read a certain RC and it's the language, if the language sounds really easy, we tend to doubt that it won't be like that. It might be some trick. We might encounter it later, but that's not the case. And so we end up picking an RC which is really lengthy or some complex language it has. Okay. But that's not the case. Don't fall prey to such misconceptions, I would suggest. So I took RCs which were easy in languages. And later on, when I had time, after doing the VA part, I would come back to certain RC which was a little complex but doable.
Okay.
And I would say that I went through questions beforehand. Like before reading, I'll read 2-3 lines of RC and we get a fair idea. Like it also works on intuition sometimes. Right. So I always consider, as Sagar Nikam sir and even you mentioned, that consider question and answers as a set, not differently. So according to that, I would judge. And there were certain questions in BA wherein there's no negative marking. We have to enter the answers as well. Like para jumbles or I don't remember properly now. Yeah. So that's what that, yeah. So we should not leave them, because even if in a hurry we just randomly mark something or write something, there is a chance of scoring there, and that makes a lot of difference. Okay. So now I'll speak about logical reasoning section. There also we don't have to solve each and every question. Even if you go with proper accuracy and solve minimum of 3 as well. But with proper accuracy, you are at par with all the cutoffs. Great. And with respect to quantitative aptitude, as I said, if like for me, right from my schooling, I was very much, my strengths were percentage, profit loss, and not numbers. I didn't go friendly with numbers. So what I did with perfection, and accuracy matters a lot. So doesn't matter.
You focused more on the accuracy part
and my strengths.
Selective areas, your strengths.
Yes.
Great. And one advice that you're giving is try not to skip the theta questions, because they might come across as bonus.
Yeah, but attempt them at last, giving a certain amount of time.
Right. Yeah. Not devoting too much time to it.
Yeah. And I would also advise that not to fall prey to advices of the outsiders, because they are for free, but then you pay the cost later. be it in any way, solving the mocks or whether taking a decision to make a career in CAT or any of that.
Because these outside advices are often the inexperienced advices.
Yeah.
Right.